2008, Panasonic really rocked the imaging world with the introduction of the Micro Four Thirds system. It's a system that really brought the promise of the Four Thirds into reality, at least in my opinion. By reducing the back focus distance in the lenses, they radically shrunk the camera and the lenses and came up with a much more compact system. The first camera that embodied that was the G1, which was a huge hit on our site, very popular even with our lab people. And now Panasonic here at PMA 2009 has introduced the GH1, which actually brings HD video into that same platform. I'm here with Chris Rice, the product manager for imaging for Panasonic, and he's going to go through some of the features on the GH1 and tell us a little bit more about what makes it so unique. So, Chris, take it away. What can you tell us?
Thank you. Well, obviously we had with the G1 was a huge success jumping into this Micro Four Thirds system. One of the things that we initially had always planned on doing with this was to make the video version of this, and we went into the high def video version, which is the GH1, which we have here today. We announced here at PMA. Basically, it comes with a completely redesigned lens that allows for a better optimized video type of recording, because what we've done is we've had some dampening and some special adjustments within the lens to allow for autofocus, basically without any sound getting into the video, which is extremely important when you've got when you're able to have autofocus going at the same time you're taking the video. You want to make sure that it's actually a high quality video at the same time. And
that's a really significant difference with the GH1 compared to any others. We've seen SLRs now that have video and high def video recording, but you can't focus during the, or you can focus manually, but there's no autofocus. And so this is the first time we've really seen a camera that is, it has all the features of a camcorder in that it's able to focus and zoom. You can zoom with it during the recording itself.
That's correct. Also, as well as with the zoom, like you're saying, you're allowed that ability to keep the focus while you're zooming. Obviously, you have much bigger controls over. You have full control over manual settings while you're in the video mode. So you have that option as well. Another thing we do have here is actually on the back you have a completely dedicated video record button, which is actually a nice feature to have. Another couple of things that we wanted to do with this camera was, we wanted to make sure that when you're shooting video, you're able to do some of the things that you would want to do on a professional type of camcorder or high-end, or your broadcast type of camera. Where we have the hot shoe here that allows for an external boom mic, which is a nice feature to have. So we're not only looking at this as a regular camcorder. We're actually looking at this almost as a bridge between that high-end consumer camcorder and that broadcast type of camcorder. You're able to have the zoom, the autofocus, the boom mic, stereo acceptance of sound. All these features really allow for a much nicer version of a HD camcorder than I think on the market you're able to get.
Yeah, it's interesting. And in the presentation the other day, they're talking the obvious advantage. We've got interchangeable lenses, so you can slap on in, and it accepts any of the 4/3 lenses with an adapter. So, fisheye lenses. You can have wide aperture, so you can blur the background. A lot of creative capabilities you just don't have with the camcorder.
Correct. The big three features we really wanted to go with on this was creativity. It allows you to have, you can change the lens, you can zoom, you can focus, you can do different types of, focal plane. You can have soft focus on certain things. You can do whatever you need to do, creativity-wise, in this camcorder. So it's a really nice feature to have.
That's great, and it does have, though, a built-in stereo mic on the top of the camera, so if you don't have to buy the boom mic in order to be able to have it. And with the boom mic plugs into a jack on the side. I think
there's actually a little door we got right here, which you plug it in right here on the side.
And now the video, what are the specs on the video? Because I think there's like 2 different resolutions and frame rates that it does.
Right. Basically, we have the full resolution 1080p at 24 frames per second. Obviously, if you're doing something that's a little bit less movement within your scene, you go with that. It's a higher resolution. But when you go to full movement, you might get a little bit of jumpiness because the 24 frame rate is a little slow for that. But if you go to the 720p, you get 60 frames per second. Basically, on most televisions, you won't notice too much of a difference, but you're able to get that smoother movement on the screen. So.
That's very interesting. Yes, I know some folks actually like the 24 frames per second because it has that sort of film look to it. They used to from cinema, but
when we had our camcorders, when we came out with that, it was actually a really nice feature to have. It gave that cinematic quality to it, so it was really cool.
And here you have both.
Yep.
Well, that's really fantastic. So, and folks can go on our site and read what we thought about the G1. It was really a pretty positive impression we had of it. When is this going to make it out to market, do you think? And do we know a price point yet for it?
The price point's to be determined, and the actual release date we're hoping to be sometime in June timeframe. We're still, in terms of production, we're still working on that.
Yeah, working on making sure it comes out. Well, hopefully we get it out there in time for vacations. And it's a nice lens. That's one thing we found too on the G1 was the lenses were very good quality.
Right.
So having a 14 to 140, it's a 28 to 280 millimeter zoom equivalent.
Correct.
With HD recording. Looks like a really slick package.
And not to be outdone, we also have the lens here that came out the same day. So we have the 7 to 14 millimeter lens that came out with it at the same time.
Availability on this is going to be about the same time frame as the camera, you
same
think?
Same time frame, roughly, yes.
And probably to be determined on price as well.
That's correct.
Well, we can't wait to get our hands on it. The G1 was a really exciting product, and we're really looking forward to getting the GH1 in our hands. So stay tuned. Keep watching Imaging Resource, and we'll get you all the information as soon as we get our hands on one.